What's going on, guys? Jim the Game Guru, your video game and board game nerd. Okay, I'm gonna do something different. It's been a full year. I cannot believe it's been an entire year of my channel's existence on YouTube. So I thought that I would make a video that's different than I normally do, because normally I do a gaming video of some type, that's a video game or board game, and do one that I kind of give back to people that are interested in actually coming into YouTube. Things that I have learned, my top 10 things that I have learned on YouTube since I've been on here for a year. I've been trying to soak it up like a sponge, doing research, tweaking things, trying different things on my channel. Getting close to 300, so thank you everyone who's subscribed on my channel. Now, let's dig into the 10 top things that I have learned while being on YouTube. And I'm actually gonna have like little subcategories within those 10 items. A couple of the items I never knew I was gonna learn, but it actually turned out to be actually kind of interesting and a surprise. And I hope that this video will end up becoming a shortcut for somebody else who's like me, an average Joe or average person that wants to come to YouTube, who's got a full-time job, kids or whatever, and wants to see how they can actually do on YouTube, and they have an interest of creating a channel and growing there and kind of getting into something different. So let's go ahead and go to top 10. So 10th on the list, and I'm gonna count down to number 1, and the 10th on the list is YouTube is harder than it looks. And before you say it, oh God, what kind of thing is that? Harder than it? Of course it's harder than it looks, of course. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is. How many times have you gone into a room and always heard something like this? Well, all that person does is puts a doll on the screen and does some funny thing on the video, and here they got 10 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers just for doing that. Oh, hey, they go to a store and do some stupid thing, 5 million subscribers. Oh, they go jump off a roof of a house into a pool full of balls, and oh man, 2 million subscribers. Oh, they give their kids $1,000 shopping spree, and oh man, all these subscribers. Yeah, it happens all the time, right? People always say that. And raise your hand if you've done it, because I know I've done it plenty of times before I came on YouTube. I am guilty as charged. YouTube looks so easy from the outside. It has a low barrier of entry to get into YouTube, but man, is it difficult. You have to wear many hats. I mean, it's difficult from trying to get the right camera angles to getting the right camera to take your video. It's difficult with the lighting. Lighting is something that I never thought was going to trip me up. Lighting is a bitch. Lighting sucks. Then it gets down to the editing, the right software to use, just hours and hours and hours of editing. And even for simple videos, you think simple videos, but then, you know, as you learn and you get into it more, you start cutting pieces out of your video, it gets intensive. So there's so many aspects to creating videos, especially if you want to get better and better and better at creating videos, that you just don't take into account before you get onto YouTube, because it looks so easy. It's so easy to get onto YouTube. But yeah, it is, man. And when they say wear many hats, you're the photographer, you're the editor, you're the person providing the commentary on the video. Like, there's a lot of people in jobs out there saying, oh yeah, you gotta wear many hats, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Translation for those jobs, you do what I say when we say it, right? And in YouTube, it's actually, you are wearing a lot of hats. Very difficult. So let's go to number 9. Number 9 on the list is YouTube is expensive. My God, is it expensive? There's 2 different types of expense. You're gonna have like your time expense and your monetary expense. Some videos, it depends on your channel. Sometimes you'll have videos that are like just very low cost as far as the products, like Minecraft videos, for example. You have a PC, you buy Minecraft, And there's these people that have channels out there that all they do is they hook up and they play Minecraft all the time, and they install mods and play with these different mods. But there's no really additional expense when it comes to the Minecraft game itself beyond what they've already purchased. But in those videos, the expense is the time, the crazy amount of editing to put their story together, to put all these little pieces together to be very, very entertaining. And then on the flip side, you might have like a video that is product related, and you're showing products. That video is going to be higher monetary expense as far as buying the products, but could have less editing and less time involved in creating the videos after you shoot them. So it is very, very expensive. Either it's going to be expensive on your time, or it's going to be expensive buying stuff or going to venues or paying for your gas to drive to places or buying new equipment all the time, new cameras, good internet. Can't disregard good internet because you need great internet, especially if your files are really big for your videos. So if you're going to dive into something like YouTube, you need to understand that there is a huge expense that you're going to take on. And some people think, well, what about all these kids? They're so young and they're doing all these things and it's so expensive. Then how come they can afford it? Well, they're young kids. They probably don't have a lot of responsibilities. They're living at home in their own room, making their own YouTube videos. So when you don't have all of those, worry about paying a mortgage and having to support a family, they'll have their YouTube expense, but it's nowhere near the expense of everything else. When you put that YouTube expense on top of your other stuff, it gets really, really expensive. So let's go to number 8. Should you do it alone? Should you do it alone? So if you go alone, it will be very, very brutal on you. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, I've been doing this for a year, and it's exhausting. It's because when you're trying to work your full-time job and then having to do all your YouTube stuff part-time, it becomes a big drain. And it's just you. It's just you. So it's slower progression because you got to learn everything. You got to wear all the hats, and it also begins to wear down on you. So when you go it alone, it allows YouTube to break you more. Makes you, and sometimes you're gonna get that because YouTube is like a roller coaster ride. There's times where I know that I have been broken down because you want results. You're on this channel, you feel good about it, you want to do the best you can, and sometimes it doesn't go the way you plan. So it's a huge roller coaster ride. But if you go in it with somebody else or even a group of people, this is where I think the greed should never take hold of you more than your vision, your outcome of what you want your channel to be. It's so much easier to go with somebody that you have things in common with, people that you can share the same vision and they have the same passion for what you're doing. And then you can divide up the jobs. Hey, you do some of the editing and you do this. I'll shoot the video and we can all do some commentary on it. And it just becomes an easier process, and you can actually feed off of each other while working on the channel, and it becomes exciting. And this is where I say that YouTube can break you down easier when you go solo, because you don't have people there to lift you up while you're doing your videos. Now, when I say lift you up, I'm not talking about subscribers or family or whoever is supporting you. Obviously, you'll have people like that, but the individuals working on the actual channel, it's just you. It's just you going solo. But it's easier when you have somebody else that's in it to win it with you, and they're there to help you out and to help lift you up. That was number 8. Number 7. This is something that I sucked at so bad, and it is learning how to market yourself. Now, like I said, this video is for the average person trying to come over to YouTube, and probably somebody's got a job and everything already. And one thing that I'm terrible at is social media. I don't have a big presence on social media. I was never in social media as much because there's just a lot of toxic behavior in social media. So I stayed away from it for the most part. And to be honest, there's times where I don't want to see pictures every single day of so and so's family or whatever. It's not that I don't, but you can't do that every day, and just it starts to consume your life. So I didn't have a huge social media presence, and it would have helped me. It would have helped me tremendously if I did, starting this channel. So what I've had to do is I've had to learn how to market myself. And parts of learning how to market yourself is not just other social media accounts. And I had to set up 3 of them. I had to set up a Facebook one for this channel. I had to do a Twitter, a Instagram. I don't post on it as much as I should, and I should do way more. But trying to drive traffic from outside, because YouTube depends on a lot of outside traffic from other sources, because for some reason Google wants to rip apart the social aspect of YouTube and just be videos. I feel like it would be so much better to have all social stuff within YouTube. I think it can serve as a social platform, but the way it is now, you have to drive a lot of traffic from other social media platforms. The other thing is, like, you just be aggressive, and just put yourself out there. Learn to really market. And like, I'm starting to get some business cards now. I'm trying to get some, I want to get some stuff that I put on my car to kind of advertise my channel. And I do giveaways too. I do giveaways on this channel constantly. And it's not like a cheap way of trying to get people in to the channel. It's sometimes you need to be aggressive and market yourself. And sometimes people only pay attention to things like that. They might see you on a different social platform, or they might see a giveaway and come in. Sometimes there's people that will come to your channel only for the giveaway, and that's fine. But then there's sometimes people will actually go through certain marketing avenues that will say, okay, you know what? I like this giveaway, or I like this, or whatever, and they didn't know you existed. Like they just don't know you exist. It's a doorway. It's a doorway. When you try different marketing techniques, it's a doorway to allow people to come in, to see who you are, to see your channel. So don't be afraid. I always felt like I was annoying people when and that was probably one of the hardest thing was the social media accounts, setting those up and starting to blast out stuff, because I didn't want to be that person that is like spamming and doing a giveaway just to get people in to subscribe, and then it just I don't know, for some reason I had this thing where it felt like I was just being so aggressive and annoying. But that is the wrong way to think about it. And I have learned that. I have learned that over time, you have to be aggressive. You have to put yourself out there. You have to do things like that, because people just don't know you exist. And if they don't know you exist, you have to make them know that you exist. And you can meet some cool people. I mean, I've had some cool people come through giveaways. They only click the video to go through for the giveaway, but they ended up liking some of my content on my channel. So it's just another doorway. So don't be closed-minded to doorways like that. So number 6. Okay, so number 6, pay attention to your audience and the analysis. So this one is really, really important. When I first started my channel, I only had Switch. I mean, I was always going to put board games along with my Switch games videos. One thing that when I started the channel, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make the channel all about, let me play as many Switch games out there and show people what all these different Switch games, how they play, what they're like. And I had this thing in my head where I was like, okay, this is going to be awesome. I'll just keep doing video after video after video, gameplay of different Switch games, and they're just going to come to me, and they're going to love me, because they're going to see those, and they're going to come in and be like, oh yeah. But I was completely wrong. I was completely delusional. And it wasn't until like last year, so I started in April of last year, and then all the way from April to August of last year when I started. In August, beginning of August, I think I had like 6 subscribers. Yeah, 6 subscribers since being active from April to August. 6 subscribers. And it was just it was the content on my channel. I mean, there's nothing wrong with gameplay videos, but there's just certain videos that will resonate more with people on YouTube than others. I feel like Twitch, you're probably gonna have a better success with gameplay videos, but on YouTube, it just that type of video, it's almost like as if people have an allergy to those kind of videos. They don't want to see those. And what I discovered that later on in October, I took a chance. So I was doing the same type of videos, and then I started doing a little bit more of my board games and how-tos and stuff. But then in October, I said, like, you know what? Let me take a chance. Let me do something different. Let me do all of these co-op games that I've played with my daughter since the beginning of of opening the channel. So in that video was 38 local co-op games on the Nintendo Switch. You can play with a friend or a family member. And that video actually, it did well. It didn't do that well when I first launched it, but later on what I found out was that compilation video later on in the year started picking up steam. Steam, and it just started getting like a ton of views. And that was telling me something. That was telling me that I was looking at my channel the wrong way. I was looking at it on what I feel like the channel should be and how the video should be. And yeah, you're gonna like this video because. And it was it was just the wrong direction. I wasn't paying attention to the viewers and what they want to view. And the compilation video just started hitting that. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do some more compilation videos. And those have been successful too. So I think that like how-tos for certain type of genres do well. I feel like the compilations do really well on a lot of channels. And I changed my approach to be more of like, let me look at the analytics are there for a reason. Let me look at the analytics and see what people are gravitating toward, like what is resonating well with them. So if you decide to go on YouTube, remember that what you think your channel is going to be and the type of videos that you're going to be offering people is not exactly how it could end up being. You have to watch the metrics and see what people like. It's all about your viewers. It's all about your viewers, what they want to watch, what they like. And I think ever since I've done that, I've definitely seen a spike in subscriber counts. So it's helped. I still have a lot of work to do to get better, but it's definitely one thing you should definitely keep an eye on. So when it comes to videos and making videos that people want to watch, you want to keep them obviously shorter. All this massive footage that you take for a video, my God, like, oh God, it's 2 hours of beautiful, amazing footage. No, a lot of the footage you're going to record for YouTube is going to end up cut and sliced away. And it's just because you have to keep it shorter, concise, easier for people to digest. Many viewers on YouTube don't want to see all that extra crap. They're just not. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of the videos I put up, especially in the gameplay videos, that most people probably watch like 10% of a video if it's pretty long. So it's not. I mean, that varies per video. Obviously, sometimes there's videos that an average view time is long. It depends on what the content is. When I say try doing different things and listening to your audience, you always want to keep your channel fresh. You always want to try new ideas, try different things, and see what people like. That doesn't mean you go away from your core audience. Don't go away from your core audience. It's just how do you present content to your core audience. So in my case, just because the gameplay videos did not do well doesn't mean I'm gonna stop doing gameplay. I'm going to do gameplay videos, but I'm doing them now more as a complementary thing for my channel and not as the core set of videos, because majority of the people that come to the channel don't want to watch that kind of content. So you need to listen, you need to view the metrics, listen to people. If people give you advice and say, hey, this sucks or whatever, and do what your viewers like. And here's another one on this bullet item that I actually feel is pretty cool. Their videos will never ever perform the way you think they will.
And that is one thing that is crazy about YouTube. Like, there's times where I record a video, I'm like, this is gonna be freaking amazing. It's gonna be the best. And it turns out to be one of the worst videos ever as far as performing. And then there's videos where you record and you're like, this is awful, whatever, I'm just gonna put it up. And it turns out to be amazing. So it's really hard. So as you're looking at the metrics and everything else, it's really, really hard to know what videos are going to do well. Some videos you might have a good idea, but then other videos you're like, I don't know. So just every time you put out a specific type of video, just make sure you've watched, you take a look at the analytics to make sure that it's something that could be viable for the future as you continue making videos. Number 5 on the list, be obsessed with your channel, but yet don't be obsessed. So what does that means? So what it means is focus on your video quality. Don't worry about so much the quantity, focus on your quality. Now, you want to be obsessed with your channel. You want to care about your channel. You want to do, you want to do as good of a job as you can on your channel. You want to be proud of your channel, right? You want to be really proud of your channel and how it turns out. You want to just continue to work at it to make it better. But you don't want to be so obsessed that you put a stranglehold on it, because there are times where you can't control when people are going to come in and when they're going to see your videos. You can't control when people are going to subscribe. You can't feel like, oh, well, if I don't put a video up right now, then, people are just, they're going to leave. They're going to leave. They're going to leave. I got to put something up right now. No. And people are not going to just ditch your channel because you haven't put a video up in like 2 days. Be obsessed. Be focused on quality, but do not get so crazy that you drive yourself insane to the point where you feel like you have to do something when you don't even have to do anything. Oh, and the video qualities. And here's a cool thing with video qualities. Not everything has to be 4K. Well, this video is in 4K, but that's because I'm at home and I have my strong internet, so I can upload this video pretty easily. But not everything has to be 4K. If you're out in a remote area, you don't have strong internet, 1080p is fine. It's because when you start having videos in 4K, they become a lot larger, they become harder to edit, and they take forever to upload if you have crappy internet. So remember that when you're recording videos for your channels, they don't always have to be, they can be 1080p, I mean, maybe even 720p, but I would say 1080p is probably a good baseline. But in certain instances, you can make them 4K. So just remember that not everything has to be 4K. Number 4, this one right here, this one right here is really interesting. Number 4 is, if you become a YouTube creator, it will change the way you view videos. It will change it. So there is I feel like there's this, you have this far end over here, right? This is you watching videos on YouTube as a viewer for entertainment. And over here, this is you watching videos as a YouTube creator. And there's this middle line. So in between this gap, there's this middle line. And I feel like once you cross the line to go from viewer to YouTube creator, it will change the way you look at videos. I mean, I can't say forever, but once you cross that line and you're deep into the creator territory, you just can't look at YouTube videos the same way. I have not been able to. I used to just watch them and be like, oh, hey, this is a cool video, ha ha ha, ha, and just kind of and not really think about it. It's just for pure entertainment. But when you cross that line and you come over into the creator land, it will your brain just changes. You start to look at every video differently. So now when I bring up somebody else's video on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I want to look at it for entertainment, but I'm like, oh, wait. What are they doing for lighting? And how many comments do they have? And what are people saying about the video? What are they doing in the video that people seem to like? How are they doing their video transitions? And what are they using for mic? And what do they have for music, and how many views do they have? How many like likes and dislikes do they have? And you start to be so analytical about every video you watch in YouTube because you want to get better. And this is part of being obsessed with your channel, right? Being obsessed with your channel because you want to get better and you want to see what people are doing and you want to get better. And if you end up coming into YouTube and becoming a creator, you have to realize that your brain is going to change so that you can no longer look at videos the same way. It just flips. I think it's a good thing because if you really care about your channel, you want to analyze other people's videos and take good things from them. But at the same time, you're not as laxed and you're not enjoying the videos freely. And it's just one of those things that flips. Ooh, number 3. Okay, number 3. YouTube is unfair. It's freaking unfair. And you just got to deal with it. That is the way it is. YouTube is unfair. A lot of people are like,
it's the algorithm. The algorithm. It's messing me up. The algorithm messing me up. It's making this person better and it's pulling me out of the feeds and I can't get anything. It's algorithm.
There's so many people that blame the algorithm. I'm a young YouTuber. Well, not as far as age, but as far as my channel, I'm a young YouTuber, and not even 300 subscribers yet. But I am not blaming the algorithm, and the reason why I don't blame the algorithm is because if the algorithm was really there to hold you down, if it was there to hold you down, all your videos would suck. They would all suck. And knowing my channel, I've had a lot of videos that are terrible, but then on my compilation Switch videos, I'm getting tens of thousands of views on certain videos. So if the algorithm was really there to hold me down, then I wouldn't be able to get a lot of views like that on those videos. If you have a good video, if you make a good video, it's a good video. Period. It's a good video and it will catch on. Some videos will catch on and just continue to move. And then some videos will go viral. They'll be great videos and just explode like in a couple of weeks with millions of views. And then there's just some that are bad. So you have either good videos or bad videos, and that's it. If you have great videos on there, you have them tagged appropriately, and you market yourself well, you'll get views on them, and they will perform well. So if you come into YouTube, do not blame the algorithm. It's just, I mean, yeah, there might be people who are big stars that have the main parts of their feeds, right? People, like you look at your feed, you could have a lot of popular YouTubers and famous people that have spots in there, but you're not there. Well, that's because there's a lot of competition in YouTube. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of famous people that come over, and there's a lot of YouTubers that have been here since the dawn of time, and they just build up their base, and they have flooded YouTube with thousands and thousands of videos, and that's why they get the tractions they do. I mean, it is what it is. Continuing with YouTube is unfair. Let's go into celebrities. Sometimes celebrities will come over and then they will just boom, millions of subscribers instantly. Now, one YouTuber that comes to mind is Jack Black. I like Jack Black. I like some of his movies that he actually acts in. And I don't particularly care for his gaming channel. I think his gaming channel is kind of sucky. But I still like him as a person. I still like, some of his entertainment that he provides when it comes to the big screen and but he has millions and millions of subscribers on his channel. Why? Because he's Jack Black. He's famous. He can come over. He pays people to work on his YouTube channel for him and do all the editing or whatever, help him with the filming and stuff. and he's gonna get that exposure. He's gonna get that exposure. Famous. He's probably a ginormous following on other social media platforms, and coming over as an average person onto YouTube, you're not going to have that. So that's just the way it is. YouTube is unfair. You're gonna have celebrities that come over and do that, and you're gonna have people that dominate certain places. You need to figure out, as you grow your channel, you need to figure out how do I slide videos into these little gaps. And when you slide the videos into the gaps, that's how you can get a decent amount of impressions and start getting people to look at your stuff. Says the person without even 300 subscribers, right? And I've already covered the fact that YouTube is unfair because you have to do everything. I mean, that's just one of those things. You have to wear multiple hats. I've already stated that earlier in my video, that you're gonna wear a lot of hats, and it's brutal. It's brutal unless you go in it with somebody else and you have a team. Even though I can't blame YouTube on the algorithm, I can blame them for certain things that I think they're doing a really crappy job on. And the one thing I don't like is that YouTube does not offer valuable tools for small YouTubers. In fact, they take out features unless you hit 1,000 subscribers, like the community. That community section where you want to do just a simple post, right? Hey, I'm just going to message my subscribers that I have, even though I don't have a lot. Let me message you and tell you what's going on with something. Or, hey, maybe I want to put a poll out there. Out of these things, what do you guys think is the best? Or whatever. No, we're going to take away all the tools for small YouTubers until you hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, 1,000 subscribers is really hard to get. It's very competitive. And unless you have something super unique or super shocking or a super social media following behind you, it's going to be a hard grind to get that subscriber base. Yeah, it just sucks that YouTube does not give you any kind of tools for helping you out when you're small like this. There's no mentoring. There's absolutely zero mentoring. And it's really hard to get a mentor, another YouTuber to mentor you. Unless you're a personal friend or a family of another YouTuber, you're just not going to get that. I mean, because you can't just walk up to somebody and say, hey, can you mentor me? They're not even going to respond. Do wish that they had a better way of supporting small YouTubers. And I feel like they're just leaving them out to dry. It's kind of like, hey, we gave you a small barrier of entry. You have your phone, you have this, you have a channel. Sink or swim. Oh, and if you swim, you got to make it to 1,000. If you don't make it 1,000, sorry. And that's kind of a shame. Another thing that's hard is I already said something about it being insanely hard to get subscribers, right? It's really, really easy for people to unsubscribe from your channel. And so there are many, many reasons why people can unsubscribe from your channel. And then there's only a couple reasons why they would subscribe. Subscribing, obviously, if they absolutely top-notch production, they love your content, they love you, they love all this crazy stuff going on, and you bring something unique, right? But when it comes to unsubscribing, if you put too much content up, they can unsubscribe. Don't have enough content, they can unsubscribe. If you end up saying something really stupid, they can unsubscribe. If your quality is not as high as the YouTuber that has been on YouTube for 12,000 years, and that's the thing, a lot of people that have been on YouTube for the longest time have pushed this production quality up here, and you come in as an average person on YouTube, you're going to be down here. And it's really hard to kind of get up to that point. And if you don't have that quality, then they can unsubscribe. If you're too similar as somebody else, right? So they subscribe to you, and you are way too similar as another channel, but the other channel does something a little better than you, they can unsubscribe. If they subscribe because of one video, but then they find out your other videos are not quite up to what they thought they would be, they can unsubscribe. Or if they might just be someone that comes in through a giveaway, and if you stop giving away stuff, they can unsubscribe if they're only there for the giveaways. So there's so many reasons. It's like you have to be dead perfect when you're on your channel to make sure that you retain the viewers. And another reason for somebody to unsubscribe is just YouTube fatigue. YouTube fatigue. It happens. People that subscribe, eventually they're probably going to die off. And it's not that anything personal against you. It's because it's kind of like a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, you eat at a restaurant, and you love their food. And you're just eating at that restaurant nonstop for like 6 months in a row, right? And you're like, oh God, I love this place. And then one day you just stop eating there. You're just like, oh, I can't eat that food anymore. It doesn't mean you hate the restaurant. It doesn't mean you hate the food. It doesn't mean that something changed. Maybe nothing changed. But it's just you've gone through a fatigue of that eating that same type of food. And the same thing happens in YouTube. People get this YouTube fatigue where they've just seen a lot of the same stuff on your channel, and they just can't do it anymore. And so that's one thing to expect when you get in, that's going to happen. One way I guess you can minimize that is maybe having different videos, kind of like what I'm doing right now, a different video than my normal Switch games or board games. I am having a different video that will just to mix things up, and sometimes try that. Sometimes do a little jolt and see if that helps reduce some of that. But don't go crazy, because there are just people that are just, eventually they'll just get that fatigue, and they'll just, now it doesn't mean that they may not come back again later on. Yeah, later on they could come back. All right, let's see what else we got. Second on the list, number 2 on the list. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. YouTube changes the way your brain will work, especially when it comes to communication. This one hit me as a surprising thing. I actually was not expecting it. So we are so, like, in our society, we are so used to having communication with some kind of response, right? We're used to it, like, hey, good morning. Oh, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. How about you? Excellent. How you, like, whether it's good communication, can be hello, good day, bye, see ya, yes, I love you, hi, fuck you. There's all sorts of communication that we're used to. We're used to getting feedback all the time. And even people that are up presenting in front of, in an auditorium or whatever, and they're in front of people, and they're reading people's minds as they're presenting their thing. Oh yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy, oh God, he's really good. Yeah, because they can read people's faces. They can read people's faces and they can get response from that. And we're so used to, like, even in typing in IM, when this person so-and-so is typing and you're waiting for the response because you said something and now you need the response back. But the cool thing with YouTube is it changes your brain to work differently, that you don't require that response back. That it's kind of like, imagine yourself being a presenter and you're in front of a bunch of people and all their faces are gone. They're all gone. They don't nod. They don't say anything. They may comment after the presentation at some given time, but you don't have any immediate feedback. None whatsoever. Or another analogy could be, hey, you're drifting in space and you are talking through a radio, and you just have to constantly talk through this radio to anybody that may be out there. Anybody hear this? Anybody out there? And you're just presenting that. And you're talking that way. You're communicating that way. So it changes your brain to the point where you need to think fast, really, really fast, and be comfortable. Be able to constantly talk about something and keep the conversation going and keep the presentation, the commentary going, and not have those awkward pauses and not worry about a response coming back. And I remember the first time that I had my very first video, my God, my brain was not used to that. And I was just like, I'm sitting, I must have had like 15 different tries on that video. In that video, I wasn't even in the video. That video, it was gameplay video. But my God, my throat had like a lump in it. And I felt like like a giant sandbag was tied to my Adam's apple, and I was like, and I couldn't talk. My brain, it's like my brain was going through like a freeze. Over time, as I've been working on my videos and improving myself, it's just changed the way that I think. I can. It's so much easier for me to communicate, even through my job now. Because of the videos that I've been making, because it's easier to me, like, to kind of like think quicker and to be able to fill in holes where you need to fill in holes. So like if there's ever a time where you have an awkward pause or silence, not on a video, I should say, but maybe like on a regular discussion with someone somewhere, I can easily end up fitting something in there so that the conversation continues to go on smoothly. Then it just keeps flowing. And that's one thing that you will learn as you make videos. It's going to change the way your brain, you're not going to rely on that instantaneous feedback. You're not going to rely on that instantaneous response. Your brain's going to get to a point where you just want to talk and express yourself. You get to that point where as you're expressing yourself, that you're just continuing the conversation, you're continuing the presentation, you're just filling in everything until you're done, basically. And you can do that on and off, on and off, on and off. It's so much easier now. Every time I get a video and just start it up, I already know, like, my brain is like, your brain will just switch into this other gear. And it's super, super cool. And that is probably the one of the things that ever since I've been working on this channel, that I have learned. And it's made me a better person. It's made me a better communicator, which is awesome. And you're going to get the benefit of that. So if you come to YouTube, you will be able to benefit off that. Even if you don't become successful. I mean, I know that I'm not successful at this, but at least it changed my life. It changed my life. It allowed me to meet other people, and it changed the way my brain works, the way I communicate, and for the better. And and my full-time job is a software developer. So software developers still, they're not really known for communicating or being, getting out there, right? So it has helped me tremendously. And the other thing that's really cool is that I feel like inside of you, there's this personality that is always the personality you want to be. Then there's the personality that you have outside of you in front of people. And that's the personality that most people see. But there's times where you want this inner personality to come out, but you just can't bring out that inner personality. So as you work on videos and as you become a YouTube creator, you will end up gaining more confidence. And when you gain that confidence, it helps grab that inner person inside of you, that inner personality, and it helps pull them out to your other personality, your outer personality, so that there's less of a difference between the two. Now, I don't think you'll ever get the two completely in line. But it will help pull that out so that they are a little bit closer in line, because everyone has that inner personality with it, like what they truly think, what they truly feel, how they truly want to act, and what they truly want to do at any given time. But most people don't act on it. Well, sometimes I guess some people that go crazy probably would end up eventually acting on it. But this allows you, it's an avenue for you to allow you to pull that inner personality out and kind of bring it out a little bit more, which is really awesome. I honestly feel that universities, there are a lot of good courses, obviously, at universities. I feel like there's a lot of required courses at universities that are absolute total garbage. But I feel like being a video creator is a course that should be a requirement in universities or any kind of educational establishment. And the reason why I feel that way is because it gives you such a huge benefit. It gives you that confidence that I just said earlier. It changes your brain so you can communicate better. It makes you less reliant on responses. And there should be requirement courses. And and I think there are communication courses that have become requirements, like in high school or college. So that way you can go up and present in front of a room. But usually those kind of courses, or like maybe they'll have like a couple of major speeches that you do. But doing that versus YouTube videos where you actually have to create everything on your own, bring your personality out, and being able to communicate without relying on responses is something that those communication courses do not handle. And I feel like, I mean, for the most part, I mean, they may have changed. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in college or in high school, so they may have changed by now. But I feel like video creation courses should be something that becomes a requirement for every single student out there, because it's so beneficial to you and crazy beneficial. Okay, so that was number 2, which was YouTube changes the way your brain works. I absolutely love that one. Okay, so number one is the most important point and thing to learn if you're going to become a YouTube creator. I'm going to try to build up to it. So I guess one of the things is why do people have dreams? Why do they have goals? And I feel like that a big reason why people have dreams, goals, is because they want that one thing that they're awesome at, that they're amazing at, that they can feel proud and say, you know what? I may have sucked in all of this in my life, but this is the one thing in my life that I was amazing at. Some people get that. Some people get that opportunity. Some people become rock stars. Some people become athletes that are, amazing athletes. Some people become super amazing YouTubers with millions and millions of subscribers. And then there's some people that don't. There's some people that just always come up a little short. I have tried several different things in my life. I've been a software developer for over 20 years of my life, building a lot of web development stuff. And I'm still a web developer, and that's my primary job. I have tried creating products with software engineering on the side that just became duds. And I have tried, actually, I've created a card game, and I'm still working on that. I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to push up. And I've also tried YouTube. I'm on YouTube, and it's been fantastic. It's been one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I definitely am not where I want to be in YouTube. It's not because of greed or because of anything like that. It's just because I want to be a success. Just like you, we all want to be a success. We all want to have one thing in our lives that we can feel absolutely proud of, and that we're just like, wow, that was the best experience of my life. And I was at my prime right then and there. And you want to show people, you want to show your family members, the people that are supporting you, that love you, and that are supporting your dreams, and you want to show your kids. And I have 2 kids of my own, and I want to show them, hey, if I can do it, then you can definitely do it. And it becomes hard when that doesn't happen, and it hurts like hell. So then you can ask, well, why do it then? Why are you going to do it if it hurts, or if you haven't got to the point that you want? And the number one thing on this list is, if you do this, if you become a YouTube creator, you do it because you love it. You do it because it's you. You have fun. It resonates in you, and you just want to show people who you are. You want to show people, this is me. This is what I love, and don't give in to people that take shortcuts. I know there's a lot of people on here that
take shortcuts in there. You know, they put a lot of sex in there and stuff. And my brother-in-law actually sent me a video one day and said, hey, you know what? You need to come up with a gimmick like this. And it had somebody on there that was doing some stupid carpentry thing. And it was boring video, but it was a sexy woman with her boobs hanging out and everything else. Lots of subscribers, obviously, because of that. But that's not me. That's not me being me. And how long could you have a channel and work on videos like that when you're taking shortcuts like that people are only coming to you and watching your stuff because of sex or because of some other shortcut? You need to be you. You need to be you, and you need to make content that shows people everything about you and what you love. There's a big difference between getting to the top of the mountain with your head held high and getting to the top of the mountain with your head hung low. It's huge. You know, some people don't care. Some people are like, okay, well, if I get to the top of a mountain, I'm on the top of a mountain. Not for me. And I don't know if it's just me just being stubborn, but I feel like getting to the top of the mountain with your head held high, you did it the right way. You showed people who you are, and you involved everybody, and you became part of their lives. They became part of your lives, and you showed your kids and your family and everyone that you succeeded at the best possible way. And you're showing them, hey, this is how you do it. This is the right way to do it. I feel like that is by far way different than getting up there through shortcuts. So don't take shortcuts. Do it because you absolutely love it, and show people who you are. Number one thing, never, ever, ever, ever forget that. So if you become a creator, stick to that. All right. Well, that was my top 10 things that I've learned on being on YouTube. And I know this is a long video, and I'm sorry. I had a lot of things to say. Yay, happy 1 year. But I think I'm going to go now and get a stiff drink and relax on the couch and think of ways that I can definitely get better. And when you try, as you get better and as you show people who you are, remember to stay humble. Remember to stay humble, and remember to always improve. Always improve. Remember that. You don't want to be in YouTube because you think you're a god and you belong on this red carpet and everyone should bow before you. That's not the right way of doing things. Always be humble and work hard, and you'll get there. Hey, if I could get almost 300 and I'm not doing the greatest job in the world, you can definitely get to a position where you can be successful. And if you're not, at least it will change your life. It will make you a better person. It'll make you a better communicator. It might thicken up your skin and open up your eyes to other things. But yeah, I'm gonna go get that drink now and just chill out. But I am Jim the Game Guru. I do video games and board games, and if you like that kind of stuff and you stick around, that's awesome. If you don't, I completely understand. But yeah, so I will maybe see you guys on the next video. Bye.